gonna start making bacon. This is my second time, so still learning. But we bought a 4.5 kilo pork belly. I'm gonna cut it in half, put it in 2 Ziplocs, and add a dry brine of pretty much just salt, sugar, and some pepper. So once I open this, we'll start that.
So we got this at Costco because we wanted to test some smaller ones the first couple times just to make sure that we were doing it right before we go and buy probably like a bigger, more expensive one from a local butcher. But this is $48.63 for this whole pork belly. It's $10.49 a kilogram. We use kilogram here in Canada.
Yeah, and the skin's already off this one. A lot of places I've looked online and stuff how to do it, they always say the skin's on them, but the skin's off this one. So
Okay, so we're just doing the brine mix right now. Just like pre-mixing it, and it's just kosher salt, like the coarse grind kosher salt, some pepper, and sugar. This time we're using white sugar. The first time we used brown sugar, and there's kind of like a debate on what people prefer, so we're going to try it with white granulated sugar this time. This way we'll kind of have done two different types, and we'll see like what we prefer.
last time it was a little saltier than we like, so we tried a little more sugar this time.
Yeah, last time it was so salty, so they said if it's too salty to just sort of like rinse it some more or soak it for a little while longer.
Soak it for about an hour before you dry it.
So we did. So like they tell you to cut off a piece and test it first, like fry a piece in the pan and taste it. So without soaking it, it was way too salty. I couldn't even eat it. So we soaked it, tried it again, and it worked a lot better.
Yeah, all I do is take the pork belly, put it in. I divided it equally, so I put half and half in, and then I'll just put the seasoning in, and then every day I'll flip it for the next 7 days in the fridge.
The first time we tried some other stuff too. I think we put like rosemary on one of them.
The first time each pork belly I did a different brine. So last time I tried rosemary, garlic, with the basic sugar and salt brine.
I didn't really notice a difference between the two. So I didn't find that like adding herbs or seasonings made much of a difference, so I asked him to just go more plain this time. I don't really like sweet flavored bacon, so I didn't really want to do the maple syrup route.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in the fridge and we'll check back tomorrow. I'm putting it skin side down, so then I can remember every day when I flip it, I've flipped it that day. So
Okay, so we've had our bacon in the fridge for about a week now, and John is going to rinse it and put it in a bowl of water to soak, because they tell you to make a slice of it and fry it up and see if it's salty or not, and we know from experience that it is way too salty. So you can see how much water is expelled from the meat just from like the salt content drying it out. Okay, that bowl wasn't big enough, so we're going to transfer it to this one. So how long do we soak it for?
last time we soaked it for about an hour.
An hour.
And it says it's supposed to help pull a lot of the salt. Not
Yeah.
pull it out, but the taste.
Like, it was way too salty when we made it last time. So we soaked it, and it really helped it. And then it was still salty, so I think we like dropped the salt down a little bit this time.
tried a different recipe.
And we're gonna soak it again, and then it's crazy windy outside today, so we're not sure whether we should have done this now. We might refrigerate this overnight and smoke it tomorrow, but we'll see. Pretty bad day today. Pretty windy, and our smoker's down at the lake, so we'll have to see. Hey, you can see like the one dry patch on the tree and which way the wind was blowing. Well, it was like a hurricane yesterday, so we could not do this. And today there's no wind, so it's good. Well, it keeps raining though. Hopefully it's finished. Everything's soaking wet.
Ladies. Good morning.
Just got the charcoal going. Putting it in the wood box. Oh, burn yourself.
Yep.
This thing needs some love, but it's not covered here, so we repainted it a few years ago and it just rusted again, but whatever. It still functions the same. This thing's really old. And just put the firewood on top. It kind of like heats it up before you need to put more in. It just sort of helps dry and
it doesn't give you that harsh white smoke.
Alright, so here's the bacon out of the fridge. It was in there overnight because it was way too windy to smoke it yesterday. So I'm gonna take it down to the smoker. And it is raining right now a bit, but it's not terrible. First loon of the season too. This is the first one that I've seen. This is as far as my camera zooms. I need to invest in some other lenses.
Now let's start the timer.
How long?
I don't know. I usually go by internal temp. Now I just gotta wait, and I'll keep checking the internal temp till it hits 145, 150.
No, it's not for you. It's a magical box that produces meat.
It's all gone. It's all gone. See? It's all gone.
It's duck pudding in day. It's a nice day. There's no wind, which is ideal for this kind of project. But we are putting our dock in. And we have our dock paddled into our bay during the winter so that the ice does not push it and twist it and break it. It's Nilo's first year here with a dock and a boat and seeing the lake as well. So, well, I guess he saw the water in October, but then it froze, and he's never seen the boat. He's never seen the dock. So he's wondering what John's doing right now. Now the water is really low this spring so far, so it's going to be more of a lift to get the ramp up to this deck. But we've got to get it onto these brackets right here. And then my job is going to be to pound these through the brackets, which is not fun. But we're just waiting for our friend to come over because he always gives us a hand putting this in and out every year. You're almost there. It's actually not as bad as I thought. The water has come up. We've had a ton of rain lately. So this is our ramp on top. So we have to connect this to our deck here, and then the lower part is the sketchier part. It's where you gotta connect it to close to the water, and you just gotta make sure your fingers don't get pinched. Well, I didn't really get to film putting it in because it's like a all hands on deck kind of thing. So, but our friend came over and helped us. It wasn't too bad. It's just the ramp's extremely heavy, so they had it hoisted with ropes, and I had to put the pins in. So this dock's super old. I think my dad built this in, I don't know, the early 80s, I think. So it's older than I am. So it's seen better days, but with lumber prices right now, docks are like just insanely expensive. So we just keep hanging on to it for now. It's going to need to be replaced eventually. Nilo. He's like, I'm not coming down there. The bacon is done. Okay, so it's cooled off in the fridge. And now what we're going to do is probably square it off with a knife. And then whatever we cut off from squaring it off, we dice up for pancetta, and we use that for making pastas and stuff like that. So we don't have a meat slicer. We just have this like Japanese, it's like a meat carving knife. I find it works really good. And we don't like our bacon like super thick cut, and also we don't like it in full strips, so I'm going to cut it in half anyways, and it'll make it easier to cut. This one turned out kind of weird this time. It kind of like curled up and it has these thick parts, but we'll fix it as we go. So first I'm just going to cut it in half so that it's easier to work with, and I'm just going to put like this half back, but you can see here how it turned out. Just going to cut the end off, and just because this is the butt part of it, so I'll use this for pancetta. I'll put it off to the side for now. So I don't like thick cut bacon. We like our bacon really crispy actually, so I try to slice it pretty thin, not like paper thin, but not like super thick cut bacon, and it really doesn't have to be perfect. I guess that is pretty thick, but I can't really get it much thinner than that. So when we eat breakfast, we don't cook bacon every day, but when we do cook breakfast, we like to have about 2 slices of bacon each. So, like, I'd consider this 1 slice. So we like to both eat, I guess, like 4 of these half slices. So I'm going to package 16 per pack, so that gives us 2 days, like, worth of breakfasts at a time. Alright, so these are like individual portions that we're going to put into the vacuum sealer. And these are just butts that I cut off to square it off. And this is going to be pancetta. Now, if you don't like pancetta, then you would, you just like take more care into cutting it to make sure that you get as many slices as possible. But we use pancetta for pasta dishes like fettuccine, so we don't really care. So I just trim this off and it gets put to use as well. So the rest we're gonna cut up into pancetta. So it's just like diced pieces like this, and this is all the end cuts. There's a lot of good like smoked flavor in it. We make out. I'd say like really the only thing we use it for is we make fettuccine alfredo every once in a while, and we'll pan fry this first, and this will be in the pasta. Or if you make like a carbonara pasta or something like that, we've made that as well before. So we have a total of 14 packages, which equals to 2 meals per package. So a total of 28 meals, which is pretty good. Definitely saves money. I mean, when we buy bacon from the butcher, we like to support local, so it's not cheap. It's like up to $8 a pound now, I think, to buy bacon at the butcher. And we don't mind paying it. They have amazing bacon, but it's been really fun to make this ourselves. Really. 30 meals because I forgot that we took some out for breakfast the next couple days.
Well, woodshed's pretty much empty for the year, so time to clean out all the straw. And we keep all the straw in here from the chickens, and they get in here every once in a while and make a real mess, so I gotta clean all that out. And then yeah, this is the wood we have left for a couple of nights we have left, so I'm gonna clean this out and have it ready for Rainy to fill it up again today. Also, I gotta finish this carving and donate it to a fundraiser coming up. I started it a couple days ago, but I haven't got much footage after starting it because it's been raining and cameras in rain don't go well. But this is it so far, so hopefully I'll have it finished today. It's supposed to be a great heron, but kind of looks like a flamingo right now. Not. But yeah, this is going to be cattails. I'm going to put some dowling and some the cattail-y little foamy things on top, seed pods I guess, and finish up the base. I'm gonna clean that up, take that section off there, and yeah, just do a whole bunch more sanding and then burn it. I don't really paint many, I've painted one, but we'll see how I feel when I get going on this. Well, I've been sick for almost 2 weeks now, and I just really feel like I need to do something. So we're gonna work at some firewood today, and I'm gonna put this truck down on the property to get wood. The woodshed's around the corner there, so as close as I can get the wood is right here in the driveway. But the wood is all the way down in there on the property. So rather than fill tractor bucket loads and do a million trips, I think the thing that makes the most sense is to fill this dump trailer and then dump this trailer there
And then you're still moving it a bunch of times, but the best thing about firewood is by the time it gets to your wood stove, you've probably moved it like a dozen times or more. Okay, so there's this pile, there's that pile. I don't know how many bush cords we've got here, probably a few. And then so many logs still that we have to cut and split. But for now, this will fill our current woodshed. And then we still got to build our other woodshed, which we're hoping is going to hold like 10 bush cords.
Roughly.
We split this stuff like a year ago now, so it's been sitting out. So it is wet right now, but it's also dried quite a bit too over the summer last year. So it just needs to air out in the shed again and it'll be good to go. Just having a water break. Sweating. Like, it's April 20th today and it was snowing. This morning it was actually snowing like half an hour ago and it's noon right now. This stuff's really wet. It is what it is. It's like, you know, they say mechanics, cars are not looked after, arborists, firewood is not looked after. Just lack time. So we split it when we had time last year, but then it never got stacked anywhere. Well, that's also because our woodshed was full at the time. And didn't have anywhere to put it because we haven't built that other shed yet. But sorry, I'm having a hard time breathing because I have like so much congestion too. I'm hoping to, I don't know, work the sickness out of me. But you can see just how wet it is. I mean, a lot of it's covered in dirt just because of where it was sitting, but hopefully it'll dry out. It's got till next winter to dry in the shed, so it's gonna sit for another minute. I don't know how much firewood I've probably put in here by now. I feel like quite a bit, but I'm gonna hopefully fill this trailer and put a decent dent in the pile. I severely underestimated this pile. Also, it's like corn snow, I guess. You know, that snow that's like little pellets. It's not a very nice day today. I don't know if you can see this or appreciate how windy it is right now, but it's really gross out. But I've almost filled the trailer. It is like can you see this? Catch it in my hands. Yeah, it's not a nice day. Anyways, I've almost filled the trailer. That wood is like 1.5 to 2 times heavier than it needs to be because it's just so wet. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling that. I'm hurting right now. So I'm kind of scared to stop because I feel like if I stop, I'm gonna seize up. So I'm gonna keep going. There's a little hole on that side of the trailer where I could not throw it. So there's some wood on the other side that I'm gonna pick from and just fill this trailer, and then I'm gonna go dump it and decide if I feel like doing another trailer or not. Oh, that trailer is 12 by 6 by like 3, I think. So that's a lot of wood. So I definitely put a dent in this pile, but I can't believe how much is left. Like, there's another trailer load right there. So there's way more wood than I thought. full. And my hands are like orange from my gloves. Sort of like suede, I guess, or buckskin or whatever they are, pigskin. I saw this here and I wasn't sure if it was going to stay, and it did. Well, I've been doing firewood. John's been working at his chainsaw carving. It's Great Blue Heron, and I don't think he's painting it. I think he's just going to burn it and put a stain on it, but he's just kind of finishing or starting some detail on it. So this is all we've got left of our dry wood, is these two stacks that we've moved to the front here, and we did pretty good. We don't have a ton left, but we've got more than we need left, and we're actually having a fire right now because it was like -2 overnight last night. Today is April 21st, and I think it's going to be 3 below or 4 below tonight, so we're probably going to have a fire for another few days, and then as far as I can see in the forecast, it's warming up. So anyways, basically I dump the wood in here, then I move it again, and I've started this back row. Now I don't really know exactly how many bush cords this shed holds. I probably should know that, but it's just not something I've ever really felt I needed to calculate. I know that on average we burn like 4 to 5 bush cords on a good winter, so I would say that this holds probably like 6 bush cords max, probably. So I don't feel very good today, and I really felt that yesterday because I'm still sick. So I had a pretty rough night last night. But anyways, I'm gonna just keep going because firewood at this point is just a small drop in the bucket on how many chores we have to do right now this spring and this summer. So just keep plugging away, just do what you can do. Yesterday a full dump trailer load was all I could do, which I thought wasn't too bad. I don't feel as bad about this wood anymore either, being how wet it was yesterday, because it's only been out since yesterday afternoon, and it was quite windy last night, and it's already super dry, so without a doubt it'll be good by next season. I did it, despite really not wanting to today. My goal was to do the whole trailer and get it stacked in the shed. All that's left is bark. And if it wasn't for this really cold breeze keeping me cool, I probably wouldn't have done it. Well, a 12 by 6 by 3-ish trailer did a row, and well, we could have gone higher, but I can't reach higher than that, so we started a second row. So quite a lot of wood. It was a lot harder loading the trailer yesterday because you had to like toss it, so I was more sore doing that than moving this wood twice today and stacking this. It is finished and on its way to the auction. Be careful. Well, there it is in all its glory. I like it better from the other side where you can see the bulrushes, but that's just my opinion. You can set it whichever way you want. Like it, Fen? And this is being entirely donated for a fundraising auction that happens once a year in our local community. And the money goes towards beautification of our local town because the municipality doesn't provide them with any money for like flowers and decorations throughout town. So we have amazing, amazing flowers in our town every year, all summer long. And everybody always wonders how we're able to have such beautiful flowers in our town. And it's from, you know, donations from fundraising events and stuff for our community. So tomorrow's going to be pretty fun. So how it works anyways is it's a dinner auction. So they put on an amazing roast beef dinner. And you buy a ticket to the dinner and it's sold out actually. It sells out every year. And then there's hundreds of people, local businesses, and people donate items. And there's a large silent auction. There's a live auction and the Looney auction. Beautiful evening. Like usual on a Sunday evening. Everything gets quiet again on the lake.